Superman was just a baby when he had to leave his home planet. His real name was Kal-El. His parents had to get him to safety after they had found out their planet was going to explode. So Jor-El and Lara sent him to planet Earth. When Superman's ship arrived on planet Earth, it was found by Jonathan and Martha Kent, a farming family. From that day forward, those two were his new parents, and he had to learn to be an ordinary human named Clark Kent. He was no longer with his own kind. He had to adjust to this new lifestyle he had never encountered before. As you have maybe experienced, it's not always easy being in a place you aren't familiar with and around people who are quite different than you. Superman had also special powers: super strength, X-ray vision, super speed, and flying. On one of his missions, he saved a girl who was stuck under a car by lifting the car up and throwing it across the desert like it was a tennis ball. He protected Earth like it was his own world. It always came first in his mind, above anything else. He gave the world hope when it felt there was none. As Superman would say, "It's not an S. On my world, it means hope." Here are some examples on why I chose him as my first choice superhero. First of all, Superman was the very first superhero. Without Superman, there would have never been Batman, Justice League, Spider-Man, DC, or Marvel. All the other superhero stories are molded from the story of Superman. No matter how different the storylines are between each other, the superpowers, the secret identities, the love interests, and the villains, the ideas all came from Superman. Secondly, Superman has been around for decades. He was first created in the 30s by two Jewish boys, and it has been around ever since. Everybody knows who Superman is. Last but not least, the character Superman kept to himself, didn't try and show off his powers for fame or fortune. He wanted to make Earth a better place to live. He wanted to keep the people safe from any harm. He protected the city with his life, and he is the only superhero that has more than one power. That gave him advantages because most of the other superheroes or villains only had one and didn't even have any of all. Like Batman, for instance. Superman didn't disrespect people. He treated them with kindness and compassion, each and every one of them. Today I described and came up with different examples of why Superman would be my first choice superhero. Superman doesn't try and gain fame or fortune in taking care of his town people, as I said earlier, which is something I truly respect about his character as a superhero. I would hide my identity of being a superhero because I am not doing it for the money or the intention. I am doing it because I want to protect my city the best way I can in any way I could without all the paparazzi on my tail. Superman proves to be a man who didn't gripe and complain being born with the powers he had. He chose to embrace them and use them for the greater good. When it came down to it, he became just an ordinary guy, but when violence and crime struck up in the town, he brought out his hero side. Thank you for watching.